People always say the scariest stories are the ones that come from empty places. Roads with no names, houses with no neighbors, and nights where you can hear your own heartbeat louder than the wind. This story comes from a man who never believed in supernatural things, never believed in spirits or shadows or anything that hides behind glass, until the night something tapped on his window. His name was Andrew, 26 years old, quiet, introverted, the type who avoided trouble. He had just moved into a small rental cabin deep in northern Maine, a place surrounded by pine trees so tall they swallowed the sky. Andrew liked isolation. He said the silence made him feel calm, but silence can turn into something else when you're truly alone. His first night there was peaceful. He unpacked, cooked dinner, watched the snow fall outside. But at 2:47 a.m., he woke up. Not because of a sound, but because of a feeling. A cold, heavy pressure on his chest, like someone was standing over him, watching. When he opened his eyes, the room was empty. The cabin was silent. He brushed it off, went back to sleep. The second night, the same feeling returned. 2:47 a.m., exactly the same minute. A pressure, a chill, a sense he wasn't alone. He checked every corner of the cabin, nothing. Just the wind and the whisper of branches scratching the roof. But the third night, that's when the tapping started. Light, slow, rhythmic. Tap, tap, tap. Andrew sat up in bed, heart hammering. He turned his head slowly toward the window across the room. At first, nothing. Just darkness outside, the forest swallowing the moonlight. Then the tapping came again. Tap, tap. But this time it was coming from the other window, the one right beside his bed. He didn't move, didn't breathe, just listened. Tap, tap, tap. He forced himself to look, and there, pressed against the glass, was the outline of a hand. Not a normal hand. Too long, too thin, fingers bending in ways that didn't look human. Andrew froze, paralyzed. The hand slowly downward, leaving a smear on the glass, and then disappeared. He didn't sleep that night. The next morning, he went outside, determined to find footprints, anything to prove someone had been there. But the snow around the cabin was untouched, perfect, smooth, untouched. Not a single print, not even his own. It was as if something had hovered outside the window without touching the ground. That night, Andrew stayed awake, lights off, phone in hand, listening. At 2:47 a.m., right on time, the tapping returned. But this time, it wasn't on the window. It was on the wall, right behind his head. Slow, quiet, deliberate. Tap, tap, tap. The sound moved from the wall to the ceiling to the far corner of the cabin, like something crawling just out of sight. Andrew whispered to himself, "Not real, not real, not real." But the tapping grew louder, more aggressive. Then it stopped completely. The silence was worse than the sound. Dark whisper tone. Andrew slowly raised his phone to use the flashlight, but before he could turn it on, he heard breathing right behind him. Slow, wet, raspy breathing, less than a meter away. He didn't turn around, couldn't. His body refused to move. The breathing got closer, closer, until it reached his ear. And then, in a voice that wasn't human, wasn't animal, wasn't anything he had ever heard, a whisper crawled into his brain. "I've been waiting for you." Andrew ran. Didn't grab shoes, didn't grab his keys, just bolted out the cabin door into the freezing night. He didn't stop until he reached the main road, didn't stop until a passing truck driver picked him up and called the police. When officers went to check the cabin, they didn't find anyone, but they found something else. On the window beside the bed, the glass wasn't cracked. It wasn't broken, but embedded inside the surface, as if burned into it, was the faint outline of a hand. Long, thin, impossibly stretched. It couldn't be removed, couldn't be cleaned. To this day, the landlord says the handpoint is still there, no matter what he tries. So, if you ever wake up at 2:47 a.m. with that cold pressure on your chest, don't look at the window. Don't listen for the tapping. And whatever you do, don't turn around when you hear the breathing. Because some things in the darkness don't wait outside. Sometimes they're already in the room. If you want more true horror stories like this, subscribe to Shadowpulse. Some shadows don't follow you, they find you.